Good morning, everyone. This is Evelyn, and this is a twin flame read. I was just getting the day the earth stood still, and I was also getting from my inner child to stay under the radar. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath, and then I'm going to get into the read, okay? Take a deep breath. Sending you lots of love and blessings today. I'm getting, when I do my meditation just then, I always purify. And lately, this past week especially, I'm just getting that white light like the world surrounded by snow. It's really beautiful, actually. And today it was so peaceful and just pure. There was like no darkness to push out of the light. So I haven't used my Good Tarot for a long time, so I'm going to pull a card from the Good Tarot before we start, just to get some general energies that are coming up for us today for the Twin Flames. Let's see what's coming up. All right, we have the Fool, the Zero. How beautiful is that on the day the earth stood still? And the three trumpeters came up yesterday there, right, supporting the Rock of Gibraltar, the altar. The rainbow colors are very subtle in this card, but they're all there. It's really beautiful. The violet is just sparsely emanating from different parts of her, like the instrument in her arm. But it's the zero point, right? The start of the Fool's journey. And you can actually see the waves, right? The waves in the air, the ripples of the energy. So you might want to notice that. Can you actually see the movement of the air today? Are you seeing the sound waves? Are you seeing the energy waves? Are you seeing just blobs of energy, right? That's not the same as other places that you're looking. Pay attention to what you're seeing. I'm getting that everything is very still. It's allowing you to see things that you normally wouldn't see. And this card wants to be seen as well, which is the 20. It's normally the judgment card, which is called Call in this deck, right? The call to action. And there again is another trumpet. Is there another one? Hold on one second. And again, this is that very angelic, that call to action. But it's very quiet and still in this deck. So there's two trumpets there. And the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Air. And it's like it's definitely a unicorn energy. They have a horn on their head. And it's the Ace of Air, which is swords, so it's all about the truth. It's so free, right? The truth shall set you free. So these are the three cards that came up: the underlying energy, the Fool of the Zero, so the Ace, the Excalibur. Let me just look at this for 1 second. It's very interesting too, because you can't really see it, but there's like script here, which I never noticed before. It's very faint, but again, today is allowing you to see things you normally wouldn't see. Excalibur and the two trumpeters. I'm getting that his horn, that's the third trumpet, his horn. How cool is that? It's so peaceful and beautiful. And look at the zeros, right? This is the 1 of the Ace, the 0, and the 2-0. 1020. A turn for the better in the final judgment. Because the next card would be completion. This is really beautiful, you guys. All right, this is a twin flame read for both twins. I'm going to show you the read first before I start. This is the main read from the SIRIAN Starseed deck, and here's the complete read that's in front of you. Okay. And Happy New Year! It's 2021. I started this read on December 31st for today. And this read was cut and dealt at 4:30, which is the Emperor and the Four of Wands. So there are actually two fours, because 30 is the Four of Wands. And the Emperor, which is having control over your environment. The 31st here, the energy was the 47, which is the Seven of Cups, right? Heaven in their eyes, your synchronicities, having lots of options. All that glitters is all that glitters. And the 31 of the Five of Wands, which is that expansion energy, whereas today is the 1 of the Magician, and the day adds up to 7 today, which is the Chariot. Very powerful, the Magician and the Chariot. So at 4:33, after I cut the main deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, for those of you not familiar, this is a 7-deck read. There's a lot of energy on this table. So if something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. It is a general read. If you'd like a more personal read, my information's below and on my website, twinflames3344.com. I also have a CD out there called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames. If you want to check it out, it is my music, piano, and voice. The first 4 songs were from the time of the Twin Towers. The 7 songs after that are all written during my Twin Flame journey. So there'll definitely be some clearing there for you listening to those songs. 4:33, which is the Emperor and the Christ vibration, is when I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck. It was not 4:30, but 4:33 is when I cut the deck, which is the Christ vibration. 4:43 is the Three of Cups coming together, and the F crystals was coming up, F being the Phi, the expansion and contraction of being Christ-like. ALS literally means like, but it also is Lou Gehrig's disease, so that could be coming up for someone, but it also means cliff, as soon as, and temple. The temple of Christ, the expansion and contraction of the temple of Christ. At 4:44, the Hierophant was being dealt, and then following the Hierophant were the Emperor and the Empress, and there's definitely full exposure here. And 4:44 is the angelic realms. 4:58 is when I completed clarifications, and that is the Emperor and the Four of Swords, which is the rest, the break, but also the connection in the 5D between the twins. And the major arcana for this read were Hanging Man, Lovers, the Great Wheel, or the Wheel of Fortune, Transition, which is the Death card, Justice, and then after the read, Luna, or the Moon, the Star, and Karma, which is Judgment, came up. And we just pulled that card, the 20 of Judgment. We had 1 wand, 4 swords, 1 pentacle, and there were no cups in this read. The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords were the only court cards in the read, and the Queen of Pentacles came up before the read. So there were no cups in this read today. There were double 1s and double 2s being the most significant, which is the Fool, which just came up in the Good Tarot as the 0, which it is for most tarot decks, but in the Divine Triangle, the numerology book, the Fool is number 22, because the Fool is already human. For me, 0 is source energy, so that is that source energy coming into the human, whereas the Fool is like the teenager, leaving high school, not really knowing what they're doing, and feeling free, right? Like a teenager would. So number 5 also came up significantly. 11 is Justice, 22 is the Fool, and 5 as the Hierophant, freedom and change. In a lesser sense, we also had 12 of the Hangman, 23 of the King of Wands, 35 of the Nine of Wands, which is the wounded warrior, the 57 of the Three of Swords, the separation energy, and then 79 in a lesser sense, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And the code line here, there were no numbers on the code line today. It was all about change and communication. And it was a very simple message regarding the Great Wheel. The Wheel of Fortune is always that turn for the better. In the read today, the Wheel of Fortune was reversed. But the message here was to say and see, perhaps being sassy, in alternating currents of air conditioning, which is thoughts and words, conditioning of your thoughts and words, the Great Wheel co-creating change and communication. The Six of the Lovers, capable of producing highly coherent, concentrated beams of ultrasound. Okay, and then before this was brought up, the stillness of the air, so you'd be able to see the waves in the air. Again, the Six of the Lovers, capable of producing highly coherent, concentrated beams of ultrasound, acting like long-legged, long-necked bird who's wading in the water, or the pituitary starting a ripple effect of the adrenocorticotropic hormone regarding something that's acidic or acidy, sour tasting, violent, ruthless, angry, ferocious. It's coming up as a tidal wave, a big wall of water, an eager wall. It's like a bird, long-necked, long-legged bird wading in a water that's about to be a wall of water, the tidal wave. The eager, and I guess the eagle is coming up here as well, wall of water, or in other words, the tidal wave of emotions. At the wheel, co-creating with doubt and concern. There may be ivy and bone. IV, I am that I am, change and communication. So, right, what is always constant in our world? Change and communication, for sure. Or say, as opposed to 6, say 7, which is the Chariot. The tidal waves, violent and raging, ruthless, acidic and furious, potent, mighty, eager, strong, and ready at the wheel, right, at the helm, the wheel, co-creating with one steering the ship in sudden changes and communication. Okay, so you have this picture of the ship in Gilligan's Island. The tiny ship was tossed right in a tidal wave in a big storm. And the storm being one with the captain of the ship, right? The captain goes down with the ship, right? They become one with their vehicle. And that is the twins becoming one with their chariot, their vehicle of ascension. We start this underlying energy with the Hanging Man at 538, which is the Hierophant and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so here's the Hanging Man here, this bottom card, and then we have the clarifiers on top, and then the 4 cards down is the Queen of Pentacles upright, the 7 of Cups reversed, the 9 of Swords upright, and the 3 of Swords reversed. Hanging out after the Queen of Pentacles, dumping emotional attachments to suffering in silence in order to heal and forgive. Dreams come true at home, offering home love over isolation, going crazy, or now coming out with or as the High Priestess, the secret, the one with the psychic abilities. Pisces or Virgo and the Knight of Wands reversed, falling short, unable to catch up in coming clean or cleaning up the act or space. And that can just be in doing your work, unable to catch up. Surrendering to sleep, rest, and meditation in the 5D, which is that 58 card. With the Divine Feminine, World, or Pisces upright and Cancer reversed in disconnect or at a distance. Released from overworking or what's not working and stuck, unable to move. Feeling paralyzed perhaps. No longer prisoner of work and dark, or lead or mold, portal, or money pit. No longer anxious about wasting or cutting away the fat, getting everything done just so more work could then be offered. Thank you. May I have another, please? Released from Trinity, now quarter horse, stable and dependent, or dependable, or released from a job, no longer having to be the dependable one. The Queen of Pentacles frustrated, knowing and being strong, or the Queen of Pentacles unable to understand or conceive of, knowing and not telling. The Beast afraid and cowering with tail between their legs, or absolutely no sex drive, mama's boy, or scared by the energies they feel, or affected by the 5G field, or staying pure, controlling all sexual urges, right? Someone else not being able to understand someone doing that. Keep an open mind, and beneath that was wedding. The situation involves marriage. The High Priestess with low cleavage and open book test, in disconnect or at a distance from crazy hermit, no longer missing their flame or trying to rescue them or make them feel better. Coming out, falling short in surrender, unable to put out the fire, legs turning blue, losing circulation in a failed rescue attempt, and surrendering to losses. Parenting comes up with number 63, which is suffering in silence, the stressed out energy, and beneath that intuition, which is that 22 of the Fool, the need to tap into your intuition and deal with parenting. Deception of the Queen of Wands reversed about not actually twin or in disconnect or at a distance from lover or any kind of affection at 607, which is the Lovers, and the Chariot, which we just dealt with in the underlying energies in the code line. The 6 and then the 7 and 67 together is the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant. Going from the 6 of the Lovers to the 7 of the Chariot, perhaps going on vacation. And then resisting sudden changes, after sudden events or an epiphany, after death or near-death experience, or dead tired, or the never-ending story of the Empress reversed, third party, weak, healing and detoxing, or Leo reversed, Scorpio reversed, Taurus reversed, which can be a negative group or bad influences, healing with Capricorn reversed, or Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, bad influences, resisting change and causing messes, healing and forgiving is Capricorn reversed, or in detox, putting out the fire. Lovers upright, exposed, where was that? So this is just in the underlying energy, because in the main part of the read, the Lovers is in the middle of the read, but it came up reversed. This is before the read. This is underlying energy. Is the Lovers upright with the Sun? There's very powerful energy in the underlying energy of the Lovers and the Sun, but that's the theme of the read. But the Lovers in the read is reversed. So Lovers upright, exposed or happy, right? Or fully powered, or on vacation, or Gemini upright and Leo upright. Lacking faith in decision, judgment, announcement, or wake-up call, suffering in silence with the Devil, frustrated, receiving an offer of a big love at 616, which is the Lovers in the Tower, a sudden lover. A breakup, no affection, truth, of death, of Hermit reversed, which can be an ending as well. At 617, the Lovers in the Star, the detox of the Hanging Man, stuck without work or stubborn mule and or pet, Leo or taming the beast, surrendering to parenting and deception, of the Queen of Wands reversed in disconnect and showing no affection. The recent past for the twins is the Two of Wands reversed, no options in coming together with the Empress reversed, resting after all the excitement, spreading the word that she's over it and now found peace again. The Emperor reversed, walking away, not sharing and being Scroogey, holding on, or Empress reversed, finding peace without the Emperor reversed, who left her behind, perhaps passed away, and the Empress reversed has now forgotten all that. The foundation here is transition portal, the injustice of the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community reversed, their dysfunction or loss, juggling, performing, and starting over in love, satisfied alone, offering love, being the Knight of Cups, and the central energy being the Lovers reversed, in a breakup and or lack of affection at 628, with sirens going off, with the Lovers and the twins. The King of Pentacles letting two go, or discharging to death, end, transition, or dark night, with the sealed divine feminine coming together at work, or to work, in disconnect from the Empress reversed, or perhaps a Scorpio and Pisces here, or going to visit an ill mother. The challenge being the wheel reversed, not in your favor, or sunshine and exposure of the Hermit, starting a new business or with a child, or a new opportunity or invitation, and the Page of Cups being kept away so the two don't fight with each other. Fearing a failure under the radar, healing without attention, death and transition, an impatience of fallen angel, without options, defenseless to their knowing and unable to speak. And this can reference a parent, with Alzheimer's who's unable to speak. Insecure without tools, or Gemini reversed and things not in their favor. No attention, or the Page of Pentacles upright and the Nine of Pentacles upright, which can be two kids with the Queen of Cups reversed. Now is the Five of Swords upright, juggling the frog growing to the prince in a growth spurt. Announcing imbalance or wake-up call, or Aquarius not sharing with Cancer. Inequity, debt, of driving Queen of Wands reversed with no options to the Page of Pentacles, Capricorn reversed, in energetic exchange or expressing a lot of feelings with Gemini reversed or Virgo reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles refused services. The Bulls split, and the Doctor checking in or weigh. The Doctor checking in a way to see big love at work. Without options, on a quest to commit to the King of Swords reversed, who walked away from big love. Home hanging out with the King of Wands with nowhere to go or nowhere to go out to eat. Insecure without tools to date someone. The Nightmare with the Queen of Swords upright in the downturn with the Page of Pentacles and the Sovereign, Nine of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups reversed. Again, that could be a mother and two children. And the Emperor reversed, defenseless to energies and attacks, and dumping emotional attachments and falling into surrender. Soon for the twins is the injustice of no longer patient between the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles and Sovereign upright. The Queen of Cups reversed connected to the Page of Pentacles upright. Two kids and disabled mother, no longer patience, no longer working, suffering in silence, and holding on and saving at 647, which is the Lovers and the Seven of Cups. Hanging out with difficult kids or a negative past. Libra reversed, Sagittarius reversed, and Capricorn upright here. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Queen of Swords upright, working hard to tell the truth in the present moment. Released from prison, exposed to all in a twist of fate, or a work release program, or a pogrom. And kids excited or fully energized about riding the wave of Excalibur in slow motion at 650, which is the Lovers, and the Ten of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment. To see the shift in ocean floor exposed, the King of the Hill to nothingness. Free yourself, religious factors, and getting to know each other all come up for the twin flames. Around them, or how they're seen, is the Ace of Swords upright, the Excalibur, the truth of surrender to reaping rewards. The Ace of Pentacles offering to the Page of Wands reversed, who is a frustrated boy, but the worst now is over, and now they are in bliss. The 653 of the Lovers and the Knight of Swords, the messenger of truth. The block for the twins being the Knight of Swords reversed, verbally abusive and or holding their tongue, or holding back an announcement. Temptation waving with the King of Cups upright and a negative past, or the past returning with mean messages in change and or communication. Sleazy sex on the chair, reaping rewards of not putting it out there, or sex under the radar, surrendering to the Queen of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Sovereign, and the Queen of Cups reversed. The surrender to the Knight of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords upright, and their happy family, with the Moon reversed, the Star upright, and Karma, or the Judgment card upright. And that could be a Cancer reversed, Aquarius upright, and another Aquarius upright for me, offering a new life. 2, the Page of Wands reversed in surrender. Breakup of the truth to death. And Hermit with Scorpio or Virgo. I'm all of a sudden getting like really hot. There's a lot of masculine energy coming in here. Breakup, truth, to or about a death, and the Hermit. This also could be a Scorpio and a Virgo, or someone who lost everything, being present to having lost everything. While broken up couple gives love to the Page of Wands reversed, which can be a child who's having difficulties. Capricorn, suffering in silence, being judged and falling from grace. And surrender to deception, stardom, and judgment to get to the sweet stuff. The offer of perfect contentment at 7:05, which is the Chariot, and the expansion energy of the Hierophant, but also change and freedom. Commitment, yet change and freedom at the same time. The Hanging Man transitions to the Queen of Swords as truth, without options in a breakup and challenged by the downturn, things not going in their favor, and the injustice of holding tongue or an announcement or verbal abuse. In a growth spurt, while juggling frog to prince, at skytop, surrendering to deception of stardom and karma and offer of a new life. The Hanging Man without option, detoxing and transitioning through a breakup or no affection, challenged by a twist of fate and growth spurt, or climbing Mount Everest. And that could be someone, making a play on words about our Everest time this year. The Queen of Swords in justice, or with Libra in chart, presenting the whole truth, yet holding their tongue in surrender to the first dawn, the light, and the wake-up call to a new life at 7:12, which is the Chariot and the Hangman in the vehicle of ascension. Okay, and that relates to the, the Hangman is the Jesus and Mary Magdalene template, and the vehicle of ascension being his divine counterpart, his twin. So we're going to pull an energy deck card to see what comes up for you guys at 2656, which is the Page of Wands and the Two of Swords. The Page of Wands being in their knowing. The Page of Wands was coming up reversed, and that's that anger card that keeps coming up from the energy deck, right? The angry young man. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know, what do we need to learn? Is 10:50 on the clock, which is a turn for the better and that happy ending, the emotional fulfillment. What do we need to learn for the twins? Let's clear all blocks, the positive energy flow, and all chakra layers, auric layers, grounding, and galactic cords across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all is concerned. And fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, what is our takeaway from the read for the twins today? All right, we have the woman holding a heart, and then the 7 of the Chariot, which is what we were just talking about, right? The Jesus template connecting with their counterpart, and the Chariot, which is here is being shown as the community, right? The Ascension community or the Twin Flame community. The 44 is the mastering, grounding, and integrating of love. And the 7 of the Chariot, the vehicle of ascension, which here is coming up as your community. And 44 plus 7 is 51, which is the King of Swords being in his truth. We also have the bottom of the deck, which is blossoming abundance, the number 3 of the Empress. And nature, the Emperor and the Empress were both reversed in this. So there may be some lack going on for some people in the underlying energy today. And the 21 is the World. And the World is upright here, right? This is the completion here. And here's the ship's logs, okay? We were just talking about the ship in the storm and aligning with the tidal wave. Here is the ship's logs, right? The front of the ship, there's the compass. And I'm getting, again, the Titanic. And the 21 of the World. And the lack of nature here is coming up. And the underlying energy. And then these 2 cards coming up. It's all on the divine feminine here. Right? The Chariot and the grounding and integrating of love. And the Chariot can be that ship. She's the feminine steering the ship. And coming upon a tidal wave. The next card is the 41, which is the Ace of Cups. Self-love, spiritual love, new love. And the crowning moment. The crowning glory. Opening the crown. Graduation day. And you see it's all feminine energy. And then the next card is the financial constraints of the 13. And we just had the underlying energy is reversed, which is lack of abundance. And this is like the tidal wave was coming up as a wall of emotion. This is like the feminine community hitting a wall, like graduating, and then now what? Where do I go now? It's that kind of energy. There may be a family break because the Emperor and the Empress were both reversed in this read. So the underlying energy is reversed, but so is the family because the Emperor is reversed. This is the Emperor and the Empress here. This is the energy coming up here. There's lack because of a family disconnect here. This can be like, this is the energy of New Year's as well. The celebration of the 31st, how there's all this coming together and fireworks, celebration on New Year's Eve, and then coming into the first of the year where you're starting over and you're having that feeling of lack. Because when do we always make our promises to ourselves? At the new year. So it's not about what am I not going to have? You want to make it a positive thing. What do I want in this moment this year? Right? Not how much weight can I lose, but how healthy can I get this year? Remember your thoughts and what you're putting out there. All right, let's see what Scooby has to say. I hope you guys all had a nice evening. Did anyone have fun last night? Did you come together with some friends? Mine was a very quiet New Year's, home with my son. It was so funny because what I was watching, there was like a formal dance going on right at midnight. So my son came out to say Happy New Year, and we did a little dance with the dance going on the TV. It was a very sweet moment. All right, Scooby-Doo. Whoop, that went flying out. The Queen of Pentacles. She's very stable and ready to walk away when she needs to with the Eight of Cups upright. Okay, this is very beautiful energy. The Queen of Pentacles is very stable and grounded, very loving, motherly energy, who knows when it's time to walk away. I was just getting and to run, when to walk and when to run. And knowing when to have fun, She's just enjoying her own self, checking out her pedicure or her toes. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that before. The underlying energy is the Four of Cups reversed, which is starting over in love, right? After feeling discombobulated and bored and not knowing what to do, starting over in love. And loving self first. Let's see what the journey of love has for you. Alrighty. Okay, one last card for the journey of love for the new year. Happy 2021. What does the journey of love have to say for you guys? All right, what is our takeaway? What's coming up for 2021? Shakti. Haven't had that in a while. Number 19, which is the sun. This card also wants to be seen. She loves, which is 61. That's that take a risk card. Sun is exposing all and taking a risk. She loves. There's very much feminine energy there. It looks like a breast coming out. Let me take a look at these two cards for a moment. There's a couple other cards that want to be seen here. Or just counted. Yep, just counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's that 10, a turn for the better again. That's really nice. And her grace, which came up yesterday, which is 17 in the star, shining your light, having dreams come true. And then Shakti, and she loves. And again, it was all about the divine feminine in the cards that came out. It's like the divine feminine on fire. Let me see what this one says. This is number 19, Shakti. And the second one's much more tempered, right? The first one's on fire from within. And then the second one is much more sensual. It's not so much the fire, but the sensuality. The fold. And the fold came up yesterday. Shakti is divine feminine fire. She is the body awakened with light. She is the divine feminine, and she is the Kundalini, the energetic force that moves through us, triggered by love, that leads to enlightenment of our body. With our Kundalini coming alive within us, we cannot remain as we once were. It is impossible. We may try to lead the same lives and be the same in our relationship patterns, and perhaps even behave properly, but it simply cannot be done. Soon our disguise slips and people wonder, what happened to her? Or what's gotten into him? We are on fire with the divine, and we cannot help but misbehave. We are no longer satisfied with trying to be the good child, or fearing we are the bad child. We know ourselves instead to be the divine child. The child divine lives fully and with passionate fire, not doing things the way they're supposed to be done perhaps, but living instead from the heart. Our body may ache as we burn through old pain, and sometimes the light within may seem so bright it blinds us for a moment. But that will pass, and the misbehaving will suddenly be seen for what it is. The old rules just don't fit anymore. You don't plug a globe capable of illuminating the whole world into a bedside reading lamp without burning down the house. Best to let that light shine as it was meant to in the big arena. Shakti's making your light grow, beloved. Be prepared to shine brighter. This oracle brings you a message. You are going through energetic shifts in your subtle anatomy. Because your energy body and physical body have already begun to merge with each other, the energetic shifts will affect your physical body too. It's always wise to consult a healthcare practitioner, but at least some of your physical challenges at the moment, from aches and pains to tiredness, are due to this energetic awakening. Take responsible action as you feel is necessary, such as tending to your physical well-being with healthcare that feels supportive, but also remember to rest, get some time in nature, and nurture your body as it is spiritually awakening into greater light. And the poem reads, and we'll get to that in a second. I just want to let you know, it's yesterday and today I've been really feeling tired, even though I slept well. So you may be feeling really pulled down at the moment in the energy. The poem reads, I have watched you hurting and felt helpless to make life better for you. Loving you is having to make choices to let you be who you are, who you become, and all the who's yet to come. To love you is to ride the waves of your passionate embrace of life, ever mindful of the change in the wind and the occasional tempest brewing. Loving you is having to make choices, knowing it isn't my fault. I can still choose to take it personally or just be while I listen and watch you unfold. Here's the fold again. Your heart is a beauty I will always love. It is the part of you that hasn't changed much over time. When I lie beside you and hear you breathe, when I touch your skin or caress your hair, you are timeless, and I choose loving you. And that's interesting because that came up in the show I was watching last night, right? That love is a choice every day. To choose to love you every day. Okay. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, make sure to touch some grass. And rise and be loved, guys. Have an amazing, amazing new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye.